What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your favorite guy, Mr. Brown Guy, and today we are going to make the 2.0 intermittent fasting series. In the earlier video, we talked about what is intermittent fasting, what are the pros and some of the shortcomings as well. In this video, I'll make a schedule over the following guidelines and steps you need to follow in order to optimize your fat loss goal. Now, if you are ready, wait a minute. Have you subscribed to the channel? Like and subscribe! Now, your fast doesn't start today when you wake up and think, okay, today I'm gonna do intermittent fasting because I read it online and it sounds good. No, it starts the day before because you are going to fast for a couple of hours in order to kick in the fasting, in order to optimize the fat loss journey. So something that you need to do is the day before, your fast is actually going to start at 8 p.m. at minimum. So at 8 p.m. before, if you have some minerals that you usually take in the morning, some omega-3 oil or some fish oil, that actually has some calories in it. So if you take it in the morning, you are basically going to break your fast. So something that I do, I take it the day before at 7:50 or 7:55 sometimes. And then at 8 p.m., that's when my fast starts. From 8 p.m. to 12 a.m., that is actually where I have my fasting period. There are a couple of things that we do in between. I wake up at 6 a.m. every day. And at 6 a.m. is when I wake up, I brush my teeth, do whatever I need to do. At 6:15 is actually when I have my first drink. Now, my first drink is going to be apple cider vinegar. There are a lot of studies that I can link around that show apple cider vinegar has a lot of cleansing effects. There are also some studies that shows that it doesn't have anything. I just feel good and that's why I do it. So apple cider vinegar in the morning, and 15 minutes after at 6:30 a.m. that's when I have my first black coffee or black tea. Now remember, you need to have black coffee or black tea or green tea. No milk and no cream. And why is that? The milk and the cream has calories in it, and those calories is going to spike your insulin. That is when you break your fast. So no extra calories, only these non-existing calories such as coffee, tea, or green tea, or water for that sake. From 6:30 to 7 a.m. I go around, make sure that I wake up, and at 7 a.m. is actually when I have my workout. Then I work out in the morning sometimes in the evening. If you work out in the morning, there are some fat loss potential that you can optimize. That means when you go in and work out, you have digested your food, you don't have any sugar, you don't have any carbs in your bloodstream or in your muscles. So all of that is actually going to be completely depleted. That is why you need to stock up on water and make sure that your electrolyte levels are even. And that is something we're going to talk about later on as well. But going into the gym, working out, lifting weights, making sure that you burn out, that means the stored fat that you already have on your body, the fluffiness we all have right now that we all want to get rid of. That is what it's going to burn off, and that is why it has a great potential of fat loss when you work out in the morning on an empty stomach. Fasted workout or fasted cardio. After your workout, let's say at 8 a.m. and that is when you're going to drink some coffee, drink some water, and maybe a teaspoon of salt, just to make sure that your electrolyte levels are even. If it's unbalanced, you are going to get dizzy and have a headache and get a foggy head. Make sure that you are healthy on all of these levels, because if you haven't fasted before, you are going to experience some side effects that aren't that pleasant. Now from 8 a.m. till 11:30 is when I usually just have some coffee, tea, water. I don't eat anything because my fast is still on, and I like to optimize and take advantage of the workout that we've just done. It has a metabolic response on your body that you can optimize by not eating anything, not feeding the body, because the body will take the energy from somewhere. It can't take it from the inner organs because you have a lot of fat. If you have a lot of fat, it is going to take it from the stored energy, the fat levels, and afterward it can take the energy from the inner organs. But that is if you are in a really low body fat count level. It's 12 o'clock, it's mealtime, let's get eating. No, not yet. No, the first thing you need to do is actually taking in a protein shake or something high protein. Get your cravings settled, because something that most people do is when they actually eat, they eat whatever they can. They go out and snacking some ice cream or some Twix or Mars or burrito, whatever it might be. In this case, might be unhealthy. So what I would advise you to do is, like me, taking a protein shake, something high protein so your cravings actually get settled. And do that at 12 o'clock. At 1 o'clock is actually when you have your meal time. At 1 o'clock, I would advise you to eat whatever you want to eat. Still think about some high protein, some mediocre fat, and some low carb. But eat whatever you want to eat because you are dieting. You need to feed your mind as well. This is a natural thing. And make sure that it counts because between 1 p.m. till 5 p.m. we are actually not eating. There's no snack time in between 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. And that is why you need to make sure that whatever you're eating, make it count. And at 5 p.m., what I usually do is I take my protein shake too. It makes me crave less because when I am going to eat at 6 p.m., my dinner time, I am going to eat something that makes sense. Again, some high protein, some mediocre fat, and some low carbs. Making sure that my calories count because this is going to be my last meal. And I know what you're thinking, aren't we eating till 8 o'clock? We have the fasting time, we have the open eating window till 8 o'clock, but we're not going to eat till 8 o'clock. No. In the last hour and a half to 2 hours, we are going to focus on drinking some coffee, some tea, some green tea. If you like with milk, you can do that. With cream, you can do that when you aren't fasting, but making sure all the vitamins, all the preparedness that you are going to do for the next day, what you usually take in the morning, do that the day before. Now make sure that this sample and this schedule that we just made, you are going to follow this. Something that I would advise you to do, even if you are only following for 5 days a week or 7 days a week. I do it 7 days a week and it makes sense for me. I can always schedule around if it doesn't fit according to the plan. If you do it 5 days a week, focus on the weekends that you get your caloric deficit still. You don't need to fast. Just make sure that the calories you're taking in, you aren't going over. Because if you go too much over, what most people do is they just end up eating whatever they want. They eat shit and they eat crap. It is what it is. And they end up putting on weight and actually making the opposite effect of what we want with intermittent fasting. Just focus on the caloric deficit in the weekends. Now for you who are like me, focusing on doing this 7 days a week. If you're going out with friends or family, especially for me, I'm Indian, so we always have a dinner, we always have a wedding, we always have someone's birthday. There's always some friends we need to see and go to dinner too. So something that I do is I focus on the dinner party that I'm actually going to, making sure that I choose whatever I'm going to eat, making sure that I'm getting my high protein, mediocre fat and low carbs, and actually fasting up till the dinner party, making sure that you are prepared so you won't feel, because so many people out there have tried the intermittent fasting, will tell you it doesn't work because they did this and did that. The intermittent fasting is focused on making you burn off fat, the stored energy you have on your body right now, and that can take some time. So give it at least 2, 3, 4 weeks. I would actually give it 4 weeks to make sure. And if it doesn't suit you, if it doesn't give you anything, well, we'll find something else. I'll make a video on something else that might suit you. In the next video though, I will tell you about the different foods and different things that you can and you should eat in order to optimize the intermittent fasting. But this right now, try it out. Now as always, ladies and gentlemen, please comment down below, give it a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.